Hi everyone, welcome to my short bite-sized talk. My name is Radek and it's nice to see so many of you show up here during, well, it's already lunch I think, but we'll have fortunately later also a session to join, so that's nice. And I think you can hear me, I can see some echo, so that's nice. I'm just trying to find my cursor again. Here it is. All right, perfect. Yes, okay, because thank you for letting me know, by the way. Can you hear me in the back? Yeah, okay, now better. I can hear myself. Yeah, is it better now? Yeah, okay, perfect. I think it's good to have some feedback. All right, perfect. So, let's see. Yeah, so the thing a bit catchy title. I think I can just tell you as a big spoiler, it's not gonna be AI talk, okay? So I can just reassure you, it's not that. So maybe raise your hand if you've ever experienced back or neck pain while sitting. Yeah, I think a lot of us are sitting behind desks, right? I mean, even now, comfortable chairs. I mean, cinema chairs are great for, I think, enjoying a talk. So I brought a little something different this time because I think mostly it's always TED Talks. And today we're gonna look at something different. So maybe I'll start by quickly introducing myself. Hi, I'm Radek. And yeah, I also sit for 8 hours in front of my desk, basically, what it means. But outside of working hours, I also teach group fitness classes, and I'll tell you later how I got into it, but I'll today want to bring you something that you can maybe take away with you and remember while you work at your desk, hopefully. And yes, that's a picture of me, also with a microphone, but in a completely different setting, and I don't think you would like to be in that audience right now. So for now, just enjoy sitting back comfortably here. All right. So why? I mean, why do we even have this talk, right? I think it's quite obvious. Yes, fitness is health and health is quite good for us, right? But I think this is specifically to target us people sitting, yes, us behind the desk or somewhere in the couch, maybe at home working remotely with our laptop, slouching. I mean, when you think about it, it's 8 hours of sitting is equivalent to almost watching one season on Netflix, or when you put it differently, maybe running almost 2 marathons. I mean, I'm not comparing because the two are different, but the duration, yeah, quite something. So as I mentioned, a lot of things that I think are connected to a very sedentary life is kind of, well, main thing is bad posture, right? And I think a lot of us know about this, but we don't do much about this, right? Yeah, so it's us sitting slouched over a laptop, whether it's on a chair or somewhere comfortably on a soft seat. Another thing is that actually leads from the first is back and neck pain. So you probably either maybe sometimes you wake up or like you have stiff neck or just pain in your back. And even though maybe might not be directly connected to you, let's say sitting bad on a chair, it is definitely a side effect that comes from just generally having weak muscles in this area. All right. And there's also different things that are related to not only the upper body, but also the lower body. So when we sit, we tighten our muscles here, and that causes tight hips. So you might sometimes have pain here and be wondering like why. Well, it's mostly because of the prolonged duration in that position sitting on a chair. So that causes also some things like reduced blood circulation, or also oxygen flow is reduced. So I guess that not only affects us in a way that how to say it physically, but also can have an effect on the mental health. So you might feel low energy, you might just feel not in mood generally throughout the day, and it's all connected in one way or another. And this is generally caused by the fact that we don't find time for ourselves to do some physical activity, or due to our demanding work schedules, or just work-life balance is not there, even though we really want to. So today I will try to show you main, I guess, issues that we might relate to, but also how to address them, and maybe how to find some time to get into them and how to solve them in a way. So kind of debug them, all right? All right, so the thing that I already mentioned is the laptop hunch. Kind of, I think, one way to look at it. So yes, it's basically kind of going backwards, right? We sit at a chair and we are slouching. So it causes some strain on our upper back and neck, and this comes from just the fact that we don't really pay attention to how we sit. It can be fixed in a few ways. One really obvious way kind of is, you can have to even try now, is just your shoulders, try to reset them. So when I say reset them, I mean really roll them to the back, okay? Don't really push them back, but try to sit like you mean it, okay? And then you will notice, wow, I actually have muscles there and I feel something. It will not feel natural, especially if you don't really practice this part of your muscle group. So that's one way to look at it. And you can just kind of, subconsciously try to think, my posture, right? This is something that you can proactively do, which is really nice. But another thing that we can, I think, well, unless you really choose to sit on a couch, then maybe I'll try to at least get you to come to a desk if you're sitting with your laptop, is there's a few things. Obviously, we can raise our screen so that we elevate kind of the eye level, right? To get something higher. Most of us also have external monitors. They help, right? We have the raises for our laptops. They're great, but sometimes, you just feel like working on your laptop screen. It's also nice, right? So for that, you can also, put your elbows on the armrest chair. Put your feet flat on the floor, okay? So that will also actually give you some structure to your back, to your spine. And it would also alleviate the tension that you have in your upper back and neck. So, yeah. I think that's one way to look at it. And just to kind of keep in mind, when you don't really, cannot really think of anything else, sit like someone else is watching you, okay? So if you're sitting in a room with other people, it's kind of maybe nice to even let each other know, hey, check on each other's posture, or just, just the small things. It will help, because it's always nice to get some motivation from others, to do it with others. And I'll get back to it later as well. All right, another trick that I mentioned is hips. So we sit on a chair mostly, or something that basically reduces the flexibility in our hips, right? So you might have some tension, and when you stand up, and then you really feel that, okay, if you try to push your hips forward, you'll really feel some pain there. And that also can affect us in different activities throughout the day. Even walking faster, if you're trying to catch the bus, you'll feel that small activity will really put a lot of strain on you, and just reduce your mobility. So normally this talk I don't give in a cinema setting, all right? So there's like some, I would say, space, but there are a few things that we can all try. So one thing is hip flex or stretch, and one way easy to do it, I will not force you to do it. If you want to, you can join me and stand up. No, nobody wants to try? Come on, don't be afraid. It's gonna be only a few seconds. Yes, thank you. Very, very nice volunteer. Exactly. So I don't know how much space you have there, but I think you at least can take a small step forward with one of your feet, right? So take your right foot forward and just try to push your hips a bit forward, and then you'll feel the stretch, right? Yeah, oh, exactly. Yeah, so honestly, because like this talk is supposed to be kind of just, very interactive and just for us to try it. So don't be afraid. We have some time for this. Yeah, so you really will feel a stretch. So this is just a small way to show you, kind of like do a reality check. All right, you can also try on the other side. So bring your other foot forward and just try to push forward and see, right? All right. So while we're already standing there, or you can also sit down, because at this point I'm gonna transition, not gonna torture you anymore for now, at least. One easy way to also remember about the posture check, just shoulders to the back. So the idea is to let you see how much muscle is actually doing the work in the back. I have to admit that 2 years ago, before I even started doing anything related to like really sports intensively, I just do it now as a hobby, I was also slouching, and like when I tried to push my shoulders back, wow, that was something else. Now it's quite natural. So yeah. And well, we all, I think, can also relate to something that is not very into fitness, but there are moments when we are kind of trapped. It's just something happens, and we just there's not much we can do. But when you think about it, there's so many things you can do. Well, maybe not necessarily, you don't have to do squats or anything related to that, but you can go for a short walk even for to get some water, get some coffee, just add some movement, okay? Like there's this feature on the wall that sometimes tells you, oh, please stand up. And it doesn't just do it just for the sake of it. When you're walking, you're just getting your body into movement and you're adding some flow for your blood, for your oxygen to flow through your body. Add some, let it kind of breathe. Because when you're sitting, you're just putting a lot of strain on it. So even though it sounds like you're sitting, relaxing, right? Because that's what we think of when we sit. It's not necessarily that. And well, all of that talk, but I think it would be nice to kind of like maybe look at different things that we can do in our free time, or just different intensity levels, because we are all I mean, some of you might be doing some let's see here. There it is. Yes. So I kind of categorize it into starting with easy, right? So as I mentioned, you have daily baseline movements. It's like walking, just having some sort of goal, step goal. And that's kind of the initial. So if you're really not doing anything and it's really difficult to think of like, oh, I'll go to gym, but there's so much space between. And I think that's not, because whenever we think of, I think anything to do with not even sport, but just fitness in general, right? Is you mostly see those guys in gym, like bulking up, and I mean that's not really for everyone. And also, I'm not a fan of that. And there is so much more to it than just pure gym, because that's commercialized. And now it's getting more popular. You can cardio. There are many forms of doing it. You have high intensity interval trainings. You have running is quite popular, but not everyone likes it. Swimming is great for your joints because it doesn't put much pressure. Dance, you have various types of dance as well. Then you have strength and tone, so that's kind of related to weights, but not only weights, but also just getting your body in a strong shape by doing also other core movements, like for example in Pilates. You don't need any weights, but trust me, those will be the longest half an hour, 45 minutes you experience in the morning. You have also body weight in calisthenics, so that's where you don't use weights either. You use your body weight. So it's quite an interesting approach. And there are different flavors as well. Flexibility, you can go through Pilates or yoga or different flows. And I have to say that I tried most of these things. And I think the best remedy is to kind of give a try to different things and just see what you like the most. And I think the best part is kind of maybe not because I'm just a fitness instructor for groups, is to go and just sign up to a local gym, or they call them studios, where you can try out different classes. They have tryouts. And the best part is community, I think. Just like, I mean, here at conference, you come to meet people, get to know new faces and make friends. I think the same thing can apply to the kind of the health aspect of our lives. You can find fitness to be really great in different shapes and forms. It doesn't have to necessarily be like not even routine, because if it becomes a routine, it's nice. But I would say something that like you deem as, oh, I have to do it in order to kind of make my body feel better, right? So I think what I'm trying to say here is that fitness isn't one size fits all. And try a few things, see what works the best, and also try to, I'm not gonna say it, but you know what I mean. So, you know what they say, practice what you preach. So I'm gonna very quickly just ask you if you would like to join me for this. If not, that's fine, we can skip it completely. And but I think what I can do now is, while sitting, just try to take your neck and do a circle to the right side, and then you'll see how much tension you probably have in your neck. Can you actually reach different spots around your neck, right? You might feel that at some points it might be a bit uncomfortable, and that's completely fine. It's just your body telling you how you really feel right now with your body. You can try it also the other way. That's Don't push it too hard either, okay? Just listen to your body. If it doesn't feel right, don't push it. Oh, well. I hope you make it in one piece out of this talk, just like you made it into this talk. You can also, one thing for the upper back, interlace your fingers, push them forward while trying to round your back the other way around. So you're just trying to push your arms forward and pushing your back. So it gives you some tension release. Okay, again, if it feels too uncomfortable, don't worry about it. Don't push it. Okay, you can also try it at home, and you can also talk to me after this talk later if you're curious. I'll be here for the rest of the day as well. Okay, so there's a lot of things which obviously in 20 minutes I can just kind of expose you, just show you the world that is out there. And just to give you an idea, because I said you can join local. So I live in Rotterdam, right? And as you can see, just in the very center in Netherlands, in the very center, there's 52 venues that I can join with like this app where you can like sign up. So again, every country has probably different services, so it's whatnot. I'm not gonna like just throw random names so like you're confused. But if you're generally curious, let me know after the class, okay? So you can find group classes. They already have a teacher, so the person will also instruct you of how to do, give you feedback, okay? Other people are joining for the first time too, so that's a great way to start. And yeah, I think that's a really kind of nice alternative. You can do it before, after work. You can also during the lunch break. It's quite great. There are many things. And as I said, what helped me is really dragging someone with you, because I think it's fun. I started my first thing. I was just spinning on a bike. It's called spinning. I went with a friend. I never done it before. Seemed fine. Good music. And then I just tried different things. And well, one thing led to another. I got hooked, or even maybe too hooked. And that became my hobby on the side. Yeah. So really fitness stopped feeling like a chore, and I really started enjoying it. And again, it became my daily routine. So it's part of my life. It's not a burden for me. I cannot really now imagine just not having any sort of fitness in my life. And yeah, I hope I kind of also expose you to what is possible out there. You probably saw people running or riding bicycles outside. You can also be part of the community. I think is great. So TLDR. Yeah, pick one kind of starting point, make it easy, start with walking with someone during lunch break or even after work. All right, just move a little bit, and I think you might start liking it maybe. Well, who knows? And if you have any questions, all right, let me know. If not, okay, maybe not. But thank you so much again for joining, and yeah, I hope you have a nice rest of the day with also enjoying other talks. Thank you so much.